What's up YouTube, Down in the Smartphone Guy, coming back at you with another video, and today we're going to take a look at a smartwatch called the Zeblaze Thor. So this is a watch that's been out for right around 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, and so I've actually had it in hand for about a week, but only got it set up yesterday, and so this is going to be kind of my first impressions of the Zeblaze Thor so far, and I want to share with you my thoughts and show you all that this thing is capable of doing. So with that being said, you can pick this up on gearbest.com. So that's where I got it from for $110, and so a link will be down in the description if you are interested in picking this up. And just kind of run through the specs real fast. I'm going to go into the description here. So first of all, it is a 3G smartwatch. It has a 1.4-inch AMOLED display. It's running Android 5.1, and it has a MediaTek 6580 quad-core processor, which is clocked at 1 gigahertz, 1 gig of RAM, and 16 gigs of onboard storage. So you can store a lot of stuff on this device. So 16 gigs of onboard storage, which is fantastic. Gorilla Glass 3, so nice, so scratch resistant. And I will mention also that in the package it does come with a screen protector that you can kind of see on there. So that's nice as well. So it has a 400 by 400 pixel resolution, like I said, 1.4 inch, and let's see what else can we mention here. I think that about covers it. You can see here the bands that it covers. So like I said, it is only 3G. With my T-Mobile SIM card in some places, so at home I only got 2G. Where I'm currently staying in a hotel, I did get 3G. And then with Cricket, so I have a Cricket wireless SIM, I got 3G in both places. So it just depends on what bands you get where you live. But I can get 2G with T-Mobile in some places, 3G in other places. And like I said, with Cricket, which uses AT&T service, I got 3G some places, or everywhere so far. So let's go ahead and jump into the build quality, and then we'll talk about the device itself and what all this thing has to offer. So again, this is the Zeblaze Thor. We'll kind of take a look around it. So this is definitely more of a sporty watch for sure. So you can see here it has a silicone band, which obviously can collect dust. So a lot like if you remember the Moto 360, it reminds me a ton of the Moto 360 second edition, the sport version. And one thing I will mention here is that, as you can see, the band is non-removable because there are antennas built into it. So you can kind of see where the antennas are built in here. You can see it's flexible there, but there are antennas built in here, so you do not want to remove it. So this thing right here is where your nano SIM is housed. We have our heart rate sensor, and then this is going to be for charging it, and I'll show you the charging cradle in just a moment. And it looks like I didn't replace that screw, so I took off the cover and didn't replace the screw. But with that being said, we have our power button, also a home button. It kind of works as everything. We have a 5 megapixel camera, we have a microphone, and then on this side we just have our speaker, and of course we have our screen. So build quality wise, definitely a sporty version. It has a nice ceramic casing here. I really like the build quality. Like as an athlete myself, you know, as a runner, I like what this has to offer. So and we're going to jump right into the watch. So you can see here, this is just one of very many watch faces. In fact, it's kind of limitless how many watch faces they have available. So any of them that you see here with that little minus sign are ones that I've added. But I mean, it's kind of a limitless option here. So you can see some of them look real nice. I like the darker ones just because they conserve battery a little bit more, but all kinds of very cool watch faces. So the ones now are ones that it comes with. So you can see there's just a huge amount of options here. And like I said, it feels like it's limitless because when you go all the way to the right, you got this add here. And then I can just go ahead and add all kinds of watch faces. So if you like that one, you can go ahead and hit that little download there. And you'll see right here at the bottom, it shows you that it's downloading. And now when I go back into my watch, it will actually show you this watch face. All right, so it's downloaded, so we can go ahead and hit back, and there you go. So now I have that watch face. So like I said, it seems pretty limitless, and let's kind of just take a look at it. So you can see that there are just a little bit of bezel there, so the screen doesn't quite fill up the entire thing there. But let's go ahead and change that watch face back to, oh, and I just got a notification from YouTube on it. So we'll go back to this one. I like digital clocks personally. So you can see also on here that right now I have a heart rate of 0, and I've done 502 steps, and you can see the battery percentage as well. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe to the left, so that's where you're going to see those notifications. So it looks like Bain Tech just put out a YouTube video. So yeah, so then from there I can go ahead and it'll say watch later, options, open, and dismiss. So you can do some things with those notifications. Now at the moment, this is connected via Bluetooth, so it does have its own SIM tray, and you can use this as a standalone watch, but for me personally, I like it a whole lot more as a tethered device. So if I swipe to the left, I get my notifications. If I swipe from the top, you can see I have a lot of settings options here. So I have airplane mode. That is, this right here is for getting your 3G data. We have our GPS, so I have that turned on. I have Wi-Fi turned on, Bluetooth turned on, and I also have it set at medium brightness. So that's just for the video. Typically, I actually leave it at low just to conserve battery. That's one way to definitely conserve battery. But you can see at high, it definitely gets bright enough that you're going to be able to see it in even the brightest of light. Whoops, I just turned my Bluetooth off. Oh no. All right, definitely want that on because that's how I get notifications. So up here we have a screen on, so that's gonna, oh, I just got that back again. Okay, come on. All right, so then up here we have silence and vibration mode. If I swipe to the right, it's gonna show me my steps again. And here you can see that, I'm not sure why it's saying that it's not connected with Bluetooth. Let me just double check to make sure that it is. And then I can actually go into the app itself. So the app you're going to connect it to is an app called WeWare. So we'll see if it actually shows it as connected. So it does say it's connected, so I'm not sure why here it's showing disconnected, because it's clearly connected at the moment. So not exactly sure. So I'll go ahead and look at the app real quick so you can see that obviously the step count hasn't updated, but there's application alerts, so I can pick and choose which applications send alerts to the phone or to the watch itself. I can send some pictures to the watch. I can find the device. So there we go. So if you lose your watch, you can do it that way. And then I'm not sure exactly what remote control settings does. Oh, that is for the remote control, using the watch to control your phone. Yeah, so then go into me. All right, so there's just updates there, and then if we need to find it, there's that option as well. So very limited what you can do on the app itself. It's a pretty limited app, but most of what you're gonna do, you're gonna wanna do on the watch itself anyways. So that was if I swipe to the top, whoops, I held down too long. Okay, so there's the SIM card, Bluetooth notification. So like I said, it is connected, so I'm not sure why that's showing that. And we're gonna go to, okay, so that's steps, we already looked at that. So then if I swipe to the right, it's going to show me all my applications. So I can go in here to contacts, so I can look at all of my Facebook, or not my Facebook, but my Google contacts. Phone, that is only going to be used if you are actually using a SIM card. Same thing with messaging, that's your SMS. Again, that has to have a SIM card connected in order to use that. We have our settings, so all kinds of different settings here. So for sound, this is kind of annoying because in order to change the volume at any time, like if you're listening to music, you have to actually go into the settings and adjust that here. There you go. So there's the speaker that's coming out of. So we have alarm volume, ring volume, and some other options here. So we can turn on to vibrate only, which you can do in that settings as well. So we can change the display brightness level again, how often it goes to sleep. So I'm actually going to change that now so it doesn't go to sleep too often. And then we have some app adaptation, so it'll change the brightness based on the certain app that you're using as well. So the app list style, that just changes how you're going to look at the apps, and as you can see, it doesn't even give you any options. We just have list. That's our only option. So connections, that's going to give you our connections. So Bluetooth, like I said, I have it connected to both my watch and to a pair of Bluetooth headphones that you can use. Like I use it for running. So we have Wi-Fi. I can use it actually as a Wi-Fi hotspot if you have a SIM card in there. So again, I'm not using that. We do have GPS, and again, same thing. So at the moment, I have it on device only, so it's just using the GPS. It's not using the SIM card to use my location because I don't have a SIM card in there. So, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. Whoops, cancel. And I don't want that actually, because that's going to restrict the app background, and I don't want that. So let's see here. Some apps and services won't alert unless you're connected to Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, well, we'll just leave it on for now. All right, and then mobile assistant is actually, you're going to use that to connect to that app that I mentioned earlier, so that WeWare app. That's how you actually download this app. So you're going to use that QR code scanner there. Very cool. And so then remote capture, I'll kind of show you what that does. It's interesting. So it actually allows me to use my my watch as a shutter for the phone. So there you go. So there's the picture I just took of my keyboard. All right, so, and I can turn it around to me. There I am. Take a picture of myself. All right, so anyways, so that's you're gonna use that as a shutter essentially for your phone. So browser, of course, is the internet browser. It's not very useful. Calendar is very basic. There's not a whole lot on there. It's literally just a calendar. It's not like Google Calendar. You can put Google Calendar on here, and of course, you can get Google Calendar notifications as well, but so this is not a very useful app personally. So of course, clock, that just allows us to change the time and alarms. And then we have camera, and in this one it actually has a camera, so 5 megapixel camera, so I can use that to take pictures. I'll take another picture of myself just for fun, which you guys won't be able to see, but okay, so looking at myself, take that picture. I think I hit it. I don't know. And you can do video as well, so if you want to be that creepy guy, you can do that. Gallery, I think that's just going to show you the pictures I took with the actual watch, which I haven't done yet, obviously. So music, that's if you download some music on there, you can use it to play music. Remote control, so this is going to actually allow you to control music on your phone. Again, I don't have that set up here, so that's, you're going to have to go in here to set that up. Of course, now it is set up, so now I can do it. So let's see if that works. No songs to play. I don't have any songs downloaded onto my phone, so it won't work. Let's see if it'll change the volume, though. Yep, so okay, so that part works. But because I don't have any music on my phone itself, that part's not going to work. Because I have all my music on Google Play Music. So sound recorder is going to allow you to record your voice if you want to. So I did actually do that earlier just as a test. So let's see here. Go down here and... Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? Just checking out how this is working. Okay, so that was just me testing out the app just to see how it worked, and it worked just fine. Did a good job of just picking up my voice. Of course, file manager, you can look at different files. Find me, that allows you to find your phone. So it's going to go off here. So we'll go ahead and click it. Let's see if that works. I think because my phone's on, it's not going to work. So let me shut my phone off. And let's stop that and then start. All right, so there you go. So if you lose your phone, good way to find it. Okay, of course, it has to be in Bluetooth range for that to work. So that's kind of an important thing. Health, of course, you're going to look at your heart rate and your pedometer. So at the moment, I don't have it on my wrist, so you can see that that's going to go ahead and use that heart rate sensor. That does seem to be pretty accurate. So let's go ahead and try it out real quick just to see what it's going to give us. By the way, this is the only way you're going to be able to use this. This is not going to be a continuous heart rate. So it's not like a 24-hour continuous heart rate kind of monitoring thing. And it won't actually work during a workout. So I just wanted to throw that out there for any of you that are like runners that want to check it out all the time. So that is definitely not accurate right now. That should start going down. This video is not getting me that nervous. My average heart rate is probably around 50 to 55. So that's definitely a little high. So I don't know if it's just because of how I'm talking or what, but that definitely does not seem accurate for me right now. So anyways, pedometer, of course, that's going to go back into that, show you your steps. And of course, it's in kilometers, which you can't change. And weather, same thing here. So it's going to show you the weather, but it's only going to show it to you in Celsius. So of course, I'm in Norton Shores, Michigan. So there's me, and then I can go into the, what is this, 5 or 6 day forecast, maybe 7 days, I don't know. Looks like about a week, 6 days. But again, it's only going to show it to you in Celsius. We can do a Google voice search, so I can say, what was the score of the Rockets game?
Houston Rockets lost to San Antonio Spurs 110 to 107.
Okay. So obviously Google Voice is going to, or that's going to use Google Voice to do that. We have the Play Store, so this is a full-blown Play Store. So you can download games, apps, whatever. So I have a couple apps that I'll show you. So any game that you can feasibly play on a watch, you can play on here. Obviously there are certain ones that you can't. So you can use this for navigation, of course. So we'll go in here and it'll show you where I'm currently at. Maybe if I can actually hit that. Got it. Come on. There it goes. Okay, so there I am. And yeah, so anyways, we're in Michigan. No secret. All right, so then Google Play Music. I'll go ahead and play a song just so you guys can hear that speaker. It's not going to be super loud, but I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then I'll put it right up next to my speakers or microphone so you guys can hear that as well. Of course, you can connect it to Bluetooth headphones, which is what I recommend. And that's currently at its loudest volume. Not very loud, so we'll go ahead and do that right up to my microphone. So as you can see, I put Google Play Music on mine. All right, this is hard to... Okay, that worked. Okay. All right, so that's Google Play Music. So there, it just went back into my notification that I'm listening to it. And then I have actually a game that I put on here, so I can just show you that, you know, there are certain games that will work, of course. So Hill Climb Racing 2 is one that I was able to play, and actually the gameplay on it wasn't too bad. I mean, because this game has literally 2 buttons. It's the gas and the brake. That's it. So it's a game that, you know, is feasible to play on something like this. So let's just go ahead and race real quick. I'll just show you that, you know, it works just fine. Now you can see it's obviously like compacted a ton, but it works. So that, you know, 1 gig of RAM and that that MediaTek 65, what was it, 6580, 6850, one of those two. 1 gigahertz processor worked just fine. Obviously, you're not going to be able to play any like major games because, I mean, how could you do that on a watch anyways? There you go. So, yeah, games work just fine. And then, of course, I had to get Google Play Games in order for that to work. And then I did want to show you also that, so I have used it for one run with the GPS. So just to show, oops. I apparently hit something to make the music play again, so let's stop that. Get out of that. And let's go into Run Keeper. So you can see right now that I'm using it in a square mode. So it does have a mode that you can fill the entire screen, but unfortunately with third-party apps, they don't necessarily work very well because, you know, there might be parts of the screen that you need to be able to touch that you can't, and so that's going to be important. So I had to change it to the square mode, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second as soon as this picks up GPS, because I want to show you that it does actually work. And actually, you know, typically I would say in the 2 times that I've used the GPS with Runkeeper, it usually took about 30 seconds for it to connect with GPS. So what I might do, okay, so there it goes. And it's been very accurate. So GPS has been excellent. But what I wanted to show you is that, of course, this isn't optimized for apps like this. So when you hit like go running, okay, you can see that it kind of scrunches a lot of the information into the screen. So that would be one thing that's definitely a negative. It might not be the best watch for a runner simply because of that. Now, I haven't tried out every app, so there might be apps that are more optimized to work with this, but this one in particular, Runkeeper, which is the one I like to use personally, just doesn't work all that well with the screen. So maybe if I actually set it to... for that one to the circle mode, it might work a little bit better. So then the last thing I want to show you is if I hold down this button here, so this is just a single button, you can see here that I can change apps so that they go from small to full, so now they'll fill up the entire screen. But the problem with it filling up the entire screen is that sometimes, like I said, there are apps that just aren't optimized for the watch, and so that can be a bit of an issue. So we can go into recent tasks. We can go into some of the things that I just showed you. So let's just try to see what Hill Climb Racer will do. Okay. Kind of loaded it weird, but looks like it sort of worked. Maybe not. So as you can see, the watch is, oh, that's because it's on full. So let's go back into that. Now try it. There it goes. See, now it's going to work. It's because I switched. Okay, so we'll go back into recent tasks again. And let's see, what else can we do here? So I can reboot, power off, and that's about it. So yeah. So now what I want to do is we're going to click out of that. And I just wanted to show you, so in the, 20 minutes, this is a long video. In the 20 minutes that, we've been doing this video, you can see that obviously the heart rate is still stuck at 102, even though my heart rate is clearly not 102, but that it just gives you the last readout when you're in that heart rate mode. So I haven't moved, obviously, steps, so it hasn't added any steps. But the one thing I wanted to point out is that the battery has gone down 12%. So I'm using a ton of stuff. I'm using GPS, I'm using Bluetooth, I'm using Wi-Fi, and I have the screen at medium brightness. So this has a 350 milliamp hour battery, and we just used it pretty heavily for the last 20 minutes. And so you can kind of get an idea if there's a ton of things you can do to conserve the battery on watches like this. So just keep that in mind that you're probably not going to typically see that much of battery drain because your usage will probably be significantly different from all the things I just showed you. So the last thing I want to show you real quick is also the charging cradle, because I really like this charging cradle it comes with. So obviously it has these little pogo pins, but rather than just having like a little cord that snaps on there, I do like that this one you can just use micro USB here, and then it just charges that way with this little dock. So those little pogo pins will just magnetize right in there and plug it in. So if you lose this thing, you're kind of out of luck, but I do like that it has that, because that's much more convenient than some other methods that I've used in other watches. So anyways, that is the Zeblaze Thor. This has been an incredibly long video. Hopefully it's been helpful for you though. Definitely check it out. It's available at gearbest.com, like I said, for $110. And if I get any coupon codes, I'll go ahead and put those down in the description as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.